Hey guys, James here again. Doing another album review, and today I'm here with my friend Bobby. As check out his
How
channel,
you doing?
RKM's Love HP. Might as well get that out of the way. I hope I said
Yep,
that
yep, the
right.
plug, the plug.
Today we're going to be reviewing "The Fear of Missing Out" by alternative rock band thenewno2. This is the prodigy of Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son. Of course, George Harrison was from the Beatles. This album was released on July 31st of last year, 2012. This is their second studio album.
Yes, it
All right,
is.
you want to do some background information?
Sure. Well, if you don't know the new number two, new no two, or whatever, they were formed in 2006 in London and Los Angeles, and they are just a project that Danny wanted to form with his friend Paul Hex, just to branch out away from his father's name and build a name for himself, which he does, because this is not anything related to Beatles music, so.
Yeah.
But previous to this, he had worked on his father's last album after his father passed away in 2001, and the album came out in 2002. Brainwashed, check that out, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He did all that. He produced it with Jeff Lynne of the Traveling Wilburys, and in a lot of other things too. But he worked on the Concert for Bangladesh menu DVD, and a lot of his father's project box sets that his father released posthumously. But this is his first music project. And then since then, in 2012, he also formed Fistful of Mercy with Ben Harper and who else? Some other person.
Yeah, they said there's a whole bunch of other guys.
There's a whole bunch of other people, yeah. Just a super group. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this is their second album, The Fear of Missing Out. So, and then I believe they first toured in 2009, and they took a break to work on albums, and they made their first debut on TV on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, because Conan is a big Beatle fan, and they wanted to oblige and rock out with Conan, and he also worked on the Beatles rock band too, just to throw that out there.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He helped
Alright.
with making it and stuff. So.
That's cool. Wow.
Yep. And what else is there to say?
I'll also do this. Basically, they were also voted as one of the top 10 acts at Lollapalooza last year. I think you said something to me last year they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
And they also which I think it kind of is cool. I know I did my last review. Yeah, I forget the name of the band here. I forget the name of my last review.
Oh.
They played South by Southwest, Foxygen. There we go. Foxygen.
Yeah.
They were voted one of the top 10 bands of this year to see at South by Southwest in Texas. So it just the different generations of the music is really coming abroad, and I think it's really cool. Also, the thenewno2 scored their first big project by basically doing instrumentals for the 2013 film Beautiful Creatures. When I heard this a little bit, and I thought it was an album, but it is an album.
It's a sound. They did
but
the
it's
sound,
just an instrumental.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like it. I didn't get all the way through it, but
Yeah.
it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
It still has their sound to it. Also, we're actually going to be seeing them this Friday in Chicago. They're touring as an opening act to the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and they're supporting their album Spectre at the Feast. That's what this says. And yeah, so we'll have videos up of that. But that's another band. They still have the influence. They have influences all over the place.
Oh yeah, they're
and all this stuff. That's really cool overall. All right, this album for the thenewno2, however, The Fear of Missing Out. They said this album was released in July of last year by Hot Records. You want to say the genres? What do you think of the genres?
covers like hard rock, soft. There's a lot of just a lot of instruments instead of computer technology stuff. But there are, if you listen to it on Spotify, Spotify has acoustic versions of two of the songs on here, and there's techno remixes and stuff. But I like how they stick to instruments, because I think nowadays instruments are going by the wayside, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because of computer technology taking over and DJs becoming more famous. But Danny has learned from his father and other influences to stick with guitars and amps and instruments in general. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, really though, if you listen to this album, just if you download it, iTunes or even Spotify, when you first listen to it, you're gonna think it's a lot of that instrumental, a lot of the electronic stuff. When if you look at the music videos, it's not really. It's just it sounds exactly like it. It's distorted, kind of guitars and whatnot. The drums are really up front.
Yeah. Plus, they have drums and guitars nowadays that can sound a lot like electronic stuff.
Yeah. I mean that element of electronics is still there on a bunch of songs we'll get to in a little while, but it's just really it's a nice mix. It's a lot of psychedelic rock, a lot of indie rock. Yeah.
There's something in it for everybody.
Yeah. It's definitely this album to me though. Before we get to the actual track review, and I'm gonna say this later on again, this album is really nothing like their debut album.
Yeah.
If you listen to it even a little bit, like I did. That first album is a lot of rock. This album is still rock, but it's mixed.
It's got a mixed bag of things. Yeah, so they're trying to do new things as they go along in the years and progress as musicians.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go too. As a promotion for this album, they released the track "Make It Home" on the band's Facebook page, and for listeners via their email list, and also for the Rolling Stone magazine as well.
Rolling Stone magazine.
Which I think is interesting. People got to get their music out somehow, I guess. All right, so we'll do
a lot of ways to do it nowadays.
All right, we'll alternate track by track here. There are 10 tracks, right?
Yeah.
And you want to do the first one?
Sure. Station is a good song. It's got a mix of piano, drum, and a bunch of rhythms in the beginning. And the piano kind of reminded me of Hey Jude a little bit, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Just the way that the piano goes along in that song. But they have sampled audio from a YouTube video where an American lady had asked her pet, "Who's the best cat in the United States?"
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's really I didn't know that until looking it up, and that's really very bizarre. And I think. And this album, though, and I think you may agree, there's a lot of just experimental, obviously, but it makes fun of popular culture.
Yeah, kind of like a Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine they've done that for 60 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
And satire.
That's really just an example for this song. There's really nothing to it. It's just an instrumental, a lot of it. The drum beats are really good, I said here. It's got some groovy bass lines to it, some different kind of stuff.
It's got a mixture of rock and piano in it.
But when there are vocals, they're very laid back.
Yeah.
On this whole album, whole thing, very kind of stressed, very laid back-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. The second song here is Wide Awake. I like the sharp industrial sounds on this album, on the song rather. It's got some clean feels to it with some xylophones maybe. The tempo of the song did really catch my attention. It will if you listen to the song for sure. It starts off slow and really picks up speed with a good and very interesting. I don't think when you heard this just a little while ago, you didn't get to this part yet, but there's a distorted guitar solo in the middle of it that it really changes tempo.
Yeah, it does. I noticed.
And
this morning,
I think it was really, it just shows the lighter side of music, the fun side, and the depressed side, kind of like you said with Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it was
a lot of influences there as well.
It reminded me a lot of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here type of thing. Yeah.
You want to do track number 3 here?
Sure. Time Zone. It has a lot of Radiohead influences.
Yeah.
And I think it just talks about, the people getting used to their fears and embracing themselves and conquering their fears. I think that's the whole message of the song. And you think it has like a dark and depressing feel? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the vocals when there are some. It's more instrumental again, but it just shows when there are vocals, he's got a wide vocal range, and really the tone of the song, the instrumentals of the song, really brings out and kind of diminishes the depressing vocals. Because I don't know the meanings, but if I did, and if you look at them clearly, and you're into that stuff like I am most of the time, definitely there are some dark meanings in this song and this whole album, really.
Yeah, but I like the subdued feel of it. It's very laid back and something you can just relax to. It's very relaxing.
Yeah. All right, track number 4 here. I won't go. This song again, like track number 2, Wide Awake, has a lot of sharp pop, maybe some poppy, radio friendly ish, even on an alternative station sounds to it. The vocals, from when I've heard this song, every time I've heard it, they're stuck in my head for hours.
Yeah.
Hours. This is one of those songs that's just really catchy. The vocals are short but very sharp, very in your face, really in your head.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. It's very it's
up
a very
front,
good song.
yes.
Yeah.
Again, one of my favorites. I think you would agree as well. Favorite on the album.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, you do track number 5.
All right. Next one is Hanging Out, which is probably the greatest rock song on the album. It's very rock and roll, and I think the song is about somebody in a relationship who had gotten strung along. I don't know if you'd call that a relationship, but somebody who had gotten strung along by somebody else, a woman.
Yeah.
But he just says in the song that he feels like hanging on just because he wants to, and that's what I got out of it. And it's one of the greatest rock songs on the album. That's how I feel.
For me, and I said this here, the song really, this is where the album kind of the twists itself around. It's got a lot of rock in this part of the album. It's got some dirty rock garage sound feel to this song, kind of
like a garage band,
kind of like an early Green Day with Dookie, and of course with, as far as I know that, actually with Nirvana, maybe a little bit. Just the feel of it is really different, and as far as rock goes, is really interesting. I would definitely check out this portion of the album if you don't want to check out the rest.
Yeah, it's a gem. It's very good.
All right. Also here, I've also read online that, and I can definitely see this, that Danny really doesn't sound like himself through a lot of this, though. I mean, he just, like, from what I've heard from this album and his previous album, it just sounds different.
What do you think he sounds like?
I don't know. It's just his vocals are just I don't know. It's just different. You have to make up your own minds when you listen to it. Just different, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, track number 6. Go ahead.
Looking Beyond. There's no words to it. It's very instrumental, and it's got a very streamy type feel. It streams you along, and if you like instrumental music, I think you would enjoy it. It's very relaxing, something you could listen to, perhaps, in the shower or something. Just relaxing and kicking back. The whole album feels that way, and it's not my personal favorite just because it doesn't have a lot of words. I like songs with words, but it's a good one.
Yeah, this song to me is really, it breaks up the album. Again, really nice. I mean, I think
it has a variety to it.
Yeah, I think with all the words in it and just the tempo of it, it needs a break, and this gives it that. It's got a build up of some pretty good guitars, some drums. That
showcases the instruments for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it does.
The 7th song here is the wait around. Sorry, it's kind of the rap song on the album, and I've read a lot of reviews and interviews of people saying, I really don't like it, and we both agree with amongst ourselves that we really do like it.
I like it. This is my favorite song on the album, and I just feel it adds like a hip hop nature, and especially with who's the other guy, RZA and the Black
Knights.
Yeah. Their contributions to it give it the hip hop feel, kind of like a LL Cool J type of sound and song, and just the way Danny presents the song as he starts with it. I think it's really a great song, and in my opinion, the greatest one on the album.
Yeah, really, this album, to me, when I first heard it, and I was in the car, and I'm like, what is this? And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at first, and once the rap, really hip hop portion of it came in, I said, I really like this. It has a swagger to it. I think it's one of those songs that can live by itself.
Yeah,
It's got,
it should have been the single that they released for the promotional, but
yeah.
I like the promotional song too.
I mean, people really don't. People can have their own opinions for sure, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the fact that there's on this record especially, and on this song, they're able to take some risks and just incorporate this because you would never expect this.
Yeah,
And it's really really interesting, and again, it breaks up the album very nice because otherwise it would be honestly pretty boring.
yeah. I think this song, it gives it like I say, a variety.
Mm-hmm.
And like a LL Cool J sounding. I think it's about just life in general. How you don't get a lot of answers out of people, or just,
You just
certain
gotta wait around
situations, and you
for
got to wait
stuff.
around, and especially for people who aren't as good as decision making as others, and just talking about people waiting around for answers to life's many questions.
Mm-hmm. Staring Out to Sun features Ben Harper. I really like this song. Ben's vocals really drew me in. It's something different. It's something other than what Danny would do. It's really just interesting. That's basically it.
Yeah, and I think that Ben adds a coolness to the song,
Mm-hmm.
and it's another one of those. It doesn't have like the instrumental type of thing of Pink Floyd, but just it reminded me of
More
Pink Floyd.
popish, maybe.
Yeah, but it reminded me of Pink Floyd because when I think of Pink Floyd, I think I could just. It's very Pink Floyd. Okay, Pink Floyd to me are the '70s Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I always say,
Mm-hmm.
other than Wings. But just because they're so popular, and just because their music is so relaxing and in a way happy, and I think that this song gives off that nature
Mm-hmm.
to it and adds something very nice.
Yeah. All right. Track number 9 here is "Make It Home." This song is really interesting. It has some hand claps to it in the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to it a little bit earlier. It's just really really different. It kind of follows a psychedelic rock blueprint, if you will. It's got some good modern sounding bass lines. Just really really well constructed, either lyrically or vocally, for sure. It's really really interesting.
Yeah,
It's the single they released too.
yeah,
So.
it's a very good song. And I think it's about a person, maybe after a date, or maybe they're just friends hanging out, and they just want to make sure that they make it home.
Yeah, it's just maybe kind of a demented kind of a love song, maybe.
Yeah,
Just not a direct message. Just interesting regardless.
mm-hmm.
All right.
The song speaks for itself. It's very good. And
Yeah, all right. You can do track number 10.
the number, the song is basically how there are numbers all around.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the number 2 is what this song focuses on, and how you can never escape
Mm-hmm.
the presence of a number. And unfortunately, because I hate math, but just the number 2, you can never escape it. There's elevators with floors with number 2, and you can never. It's all around. So
Yeah.
that's what I got from it, and that's what I think it is.
Yeah. Honestly, to me, I didn't get for most of this album, and I didn't really necessarily see the meanings right away. But this song to me, has a good sound. It's got some melodic pop sounds to it. Danny really sounds a lot like George Harrison in this song.
Yeah.
Especially on the guitar. I can see it came directly from him. It feels like it.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it was dropped from the sky. And I honestly, it feels maybe like I don't know. It's
it's very eerie feeling, but yeah, just the way not even the way he sounds, but just the way that he looks exactly like
mm-hmm.
Late Beatles, early '70s George,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very good. And Paul even said, Paul McCartney, at the concert for George in 2002, that with Danny being there, standing next to him, it feels like George got younger and everybody else got old. So that's one of the quotes from the concert.
Yeah, yeah. Just real fast on this song, and one more thing I want to say. This song has a wicked guitar solo at the very end of it, and I cannot not do this review and not mention it. It's really interesting. This song is a ballad. It's I don't know, just a good way to end.
Yeah,
a really interesting way. All right. You want to give your favorite song, sir?
I think the Wait Around is the best song, and I think that I Won't Go, Hanging Out. Those are my top three. But Yep. But
yeah, I had
the Wait Around.
yeah, I had it a little bit different. I had I Won't Go, hanging on. Time Zone was one of my favorites as well. Just the instrumental feel to it. The number and Staring Out to Sea with Ben Harper. Just the feel to that song.
I think the whole album is it's a mixed bag, and I think there's something in it for everybody, and that's what I like about music in general, because music is a healing power, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah. So. All right. As you see in my reviews, I do my positives and negatives. So some of my positives here are this album has a multi-genre infusion. Yeah. It's got a lot of the indie rock, a lot of the alternative rock, kind of like Green Day, maybe some Foxygen. It's got some electronica with some Skrillex.
Yeah. I was going to mention Skrillex, especially in the beginning of the album, because I think the station especially reminded me of Skrillex.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the way that it starts out.
I mean, overall,
Deadmau5 and all the
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
Sorry. Overall, this band is not afraid to take risk, and that's what I really like about it. This album doesn't sound like the previous one, and I don't think they're gonna be one of those bands that stick to a sound. I think they're gonna try to experiment, and that's what they want to be known for.
Yeah, I think even in the '60s, the Beatles started off as a poppy type of band just to get people to buy their albums, but as soon as they became successful and all that, and then they started branching out and experimenting with their music and doing stuff that they wanted to do. That's why they grew the mustaches and the beards and did Sgt. Pepper and the White Album, and there's a whole mixed bag there, and you can see that how they matured and just the experimentation as they grew up and went along as a band, and that's why I love the Beatles. One of the many reasons why.
Yeah.
But I think that's a key part of it here too.
Yeah, I honestly think that either they're gonna try to be experimental, or they're gonna go into some niche and they're gonna say, I like the rock, I want to stick to only rock, and you put some electronica in there. But it's gonna be either all or nothing with this band, and that's what I really cannot wait to see in the future. After they do their Beautiful Creatures, see what their next album is gonna be, and what it's gonna be, and their Danny's other project as well, the
Fistful of Mercy.
Yeah. And I haven't even. But overall, this album really has a nice psychedelic sound, as I just basically said. It gets some rock. My mom actually said that it felt like she was in a trance listening to it after a while, and I would definitely agree to that. It's got some good sounds to it. The rock feel, just everything. Again, the gritty guitar work, the Radiohead influences, maybe some indie rock with some Dinosaur Jr. Check out that review. I did that earlier this year. Just the influences this band has, again, and to reiterate, is really interesting. It shows off, and again, it shows off they want to be instrumental.
Yeah, I think that their influences remind me a lot of a festival lineup, because festivals, if you notice, have a wide range of musical.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't stick to one.
Yeah, they have many genres that they learn from and go off of, and I think the thenewno2, whoever, learns a lot from that, because they've played a lot of festivals, and Danny grew up with a lot of influences in his house.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, basically, do you have any downsides for this album?
Not really, but just if you don't like a lot of instrumental stuff,
electronica maybe.
Yeah, electronica, but there's probably that only one song that I probably wouldn't recommend, and that would be that instrumental song. I don't remember the name of it now.
Looking Beyond, maybe.
Looking Beyond.
Looking Beyond. That's what I was.
All that is instrumental, but other than that, I think it's the album is good, and I think the like he said that Looking Beyond adds a nice little break to the to the record, and it all fits together.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal preference, and it's all good.
Yeah. To me. A lot of guys know, a lot of you guys are my friends, watch my videos for a while, know that I mention the electronica, say I don't like it. But this album, if it's done in a good way, I tend to favor it.
Yeah,
it was done. Sorry, it was done really, really pretty good. And the only downside that I majorly have, this album was a little too short on a lot of songs.
Yeah,
I mean. I from the interviews that I've read and just my own thoughts here, this album gets kind of boring at points because it goes either a little too long or a little too short, and there's no breaks in it. I mean, that's a stretch. That's a stretch to even say that, but I just wish that on some of the songs that they would kind of, I don't know, just that it was a little bit longer and a little more engaging.
Yeah.
On some of them. Not definitely not the whole thing, and this doesn't really bring down my review. My review is a 7 or a 7.5. It's really good, really solid, but doesn't reach up to the next great level yet.
They're still growing as a band. They've only been around since 2006, and I think as they experiment more in the studio and the more people they bring in, and Ben Harper's been around a while, so they'll learn a lot from him. Mm-hmm. And I think they're growing, and it's a good. I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah, I think the only upsides, and if there's downsides, we'll bear up and down. That's what good bands do. They go up and down.
That's life.
You saw with the Beatles, a lot of their up and downs, and a lot with every other band. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's our review for the thenewno2, The Fear of Missing Out. So if you guys like this video, this is my album review corner, and in my upcoming weeks, I will do the Night of the Pre-Band, their debut album, their second album with my friend Lance Moss TV. I do some Fleetwood Mac with some Rumors. I know you requested that a while back.
Yep.
I've got some Aerosmith with their new record. I want to give that a listen. I've also got some Buck Cherry. Their I think it was the third or fourth debut or album. 15 I want to do. If you have any reviews that you want me to do, anything you want me to do, let me know, and I will for sure slot those in very, very soon. I want to get some viewer requested songs, and I will do more as the summer goes along. We'll do more of these collaborations.
I'll be around.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching. Check out Bobby's channel. Go ahead.
RTMless HP. My darling niece Selena.
Yeah, you got some pretty good stuff there. And
yep.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for watching this episode of Review Corner. Have a nice day.